Hi there everyone, this is Magenta Pixie speaking, and I would just like to talk to you about a few posts I've made on social media and questions arising from that particular post. And the subject is Dragonlines, Leylines and Vortices and everything related to that. So I will start with the first question. Magenta, is Avebury in England significant right now? And my reply was, yes, very much so. The Nine tell me it is one of the ancient portals that has been reactivated. The stones contain memories. So if you touch the stone, it downloads to you, if you are receptive to this, the spiritual dragon codes for the Amenti domains specific to the Crusades, the Cathars, the Celts, and the Druids. Many starseeds are reincarnated from these lineages, and many starseeds hold the Celtic line through the Tuatha De Danann elemental bloodlines, especially those who have Celtic ancestry in their current incarnation. And these bloodlines are now scattered across the world. They are not just in England, they are scattered throughout the world. So that was the reply to that question. The next question was, within the same vein, Magenta, I recently found out about my Celtic ancestry. I live on a portal. The Norman church in Ware, and Ware is spelt W-A-R-E, that was a place of pilgrimage is directly behind my back garden. And how I got here is quite a crazy story. I saw a sleeping baby dragon in a pit as an image just before my Kundalini awakening. I want to find out which ley line Ware is on. I know we're on one. Do you know of any ideas how to do this? My reply was, I would imagine it's alongside the Michael Mary line into Glastonbury and Avebury, which is the main dragon line across southern England. I could be wrong about this, but this is the one I feel it is on. I haven't researched this, but my feeling is that's the ley line it's sitting on. So Ware, spelt W-A-R-E, would be a portal for dragon energies, as they are known within the elemental worlds as the folk of the Ware, and it's pronounced W-E-R-E. However, it can also be pronounced W-A-R-E. So it's not surprising that this person saw the baby dragon sleeping as an image prior to her Kundalini awakening, if she was in the area of this particular ley line in the place called Ware, as that's we have the flame letter language of light codes that are within our DNA linked to certain places and the land, the ley lines. Our DNA is linked to the lands, linked to these energy portals and vortices and the Stargates. We're linked together. We are as one. And when we activate, we're able to activate these portals, which is why this Stargate, this ancient Stargate in Avebury, has become activated because of the amount of activated individuals on the planet right now. So next question, Magenta, the Michael and Mary line that you say is a dragon line, are they Archangel Michael and Divine Princess Aurora? So they're asking, this person is asking if Michael is Archangel Michael and is Mary the Divine Princess Aurora. So Archangel Michael and the Divine Princess Aurora are the group soul archetypes for the awakened individuals on Earth. So here is my reply. Yes and no. Michael is the grounded earthly aspect, and Archangel Michael is the cosmic or antimatter aspect. Same with Mary and the Divine Princess Aurora. Michael is the Christ Michael, and Mary is the Divine Mother of the Magdalene, magnetic frequency. So they are riders of the dragon, as their dragon line, the Leyline, runs through the earth as part of an overall crystalline grid. Archangel Michael is the guardian of the Pillar of Light. So as the earthly dragon takes flight, this thus creates an upward moving grid, so a galactic or heavenly ley line along a masculine stream. Princess Aurora is the higher self aspect to Mary as the feminine dragon galactic ley line pillar of light. And these pillars create the galactic web of light. The consciousness that creates this Princess Aurora Mary line is the activated, balanced, heart-opened, aware starseed humanity. So you can see how important we are to consciousness itself, incarnated here in human form. Michael, Mary are horizontal fields, and Archangel Michael, Princess Aurora are vertical fields. The points where they intersect are node points or vortices that hold the codes for ancient Stargates. So that was my reply, and I will just say that key codes, triggers, and language of light activating catalysts are there within that piece that I just read out, because that is me as Magenta Pixie speaking, drawing down that energetic that is the 9. And that is the plasma aspect, which is the antimatter to these Stargates and Leylines, and that is also the dragon. So the key codes are there as you listen to me speak that piece just there. Next question. Hi Magenta, am I interpreting the information on Michael Mary's horizontal and vertical fields correctly when I state Archangel Michael, Princess Aurora, vertical fields are where we as souls inwardly receive the divine love and information. And the Michael Mary vertical, that would be horizontal fields, the Michael Mary horizontal fields are where we as souls in a human body give outward expression to these received energies. So the question is, the vertical fields of Archangel Michael and Princess Aurora are where we inwardly receive divine love and information, and the Michael Mary horizontal fields are where we as souls in a human body give outward expression to these received energies. So my reply to this is yes. However, I added we can also draw the Michael Mary energies inward as well, so we can receive from the horizontal and the vertical, especially at node points, which are another word for sacred sites, stargates, portals. So we can draw up energies from the horizontal, the Michael Mary energies, through the feet. If we stand barefoot on the earth, we draw the energies up, and this grounds us at the same time. We can draw down the energies vertically through the crown chakra, but we can do the opposite to this as well. We can give energies through the feet into the horizontal dragon lines, and we can also give back to the cosmos also. We circle this energy through our body. So we draw it in through the crown, we take it right through the body, through the chakra system, and we cycle this in a toroidal field geometric configuration, and we can give that back out. Most people, and I'm one included, don't usually give consciously through the crown chakra. It's usually through the hands as a healing energetic, or through the heart. But the guidance system can receive or utilize the activated individual as, if you will, a beacon of light energy, a beacon of plasma. So you might not even be conscious of that. But if you're awakened and you are activated, you act like a transducer of energy on this planet. So if you're walking barefoot across natural ground, it doesn't work on metal or concrete, but if you're walking on natural ground such as rock, natural rock, sand, sea, grass, earth, rivers, even wood, you can give and receive this energy, and you can unconsciously just be going for a walk, and that will be happening naturally from the higher vibrational energies. Now, advanced practitioners can give cosmically through the crown, but that, as I said, is an advanced technique, and so I don't really do this myself. I use the heart and the hands myself, so I'm not really a master teacher on how to do that, but it is possible should somebody feel drawn to giving energy through the crown. But usually the starseeds receive through the crown and give through the feet, and can draw up through the feet and then give through the heart and the hands, especially if they're healers. Okay, next question. Princess Aurora may also be called the Cosmic Divine Mother, am I correct? Or Sophia? I just want to understand correctly the archetypal energy that you are using. So my reply to this is, using this archetypal model, then Princess Aurora is actually the daughter energy, and Queen Sophia is the mother energy. However, within this archetype, there is also beloved Sarah, the granddaughter, which also makes Aurora the divine mother. Feminine trinity joins the infinity line through repeated procreation and incarnation. As the three, granddaughter, daughter, and mother, they become one, similar to maiden mother crone in the Wiccan tradition. So the answer is yes to your question. Okay, next question. Magenta, are there any Leylines, Dragonlines, or portals that activate Sherwood Forest? This is in the United Kingdom. Have always had a fondness for the Robin Hood stories. So the story of Robin Hood is set in Sherwood Forest. I know the current forest is not as big as the original Sherwood Forest, but I do feel the Midlands are important in some way. So Midlands is sort of up north. Anyone point me in a direction to find out more? So this was opened for the group on my Telegram community. But I did reply, and my reply is, Sherwood Forest is a portal in and of itself, holding the entire memories and codes for the Robin Hood flame letter archetypes within humanity's collective consciousness. This contains within it the story of our true history, the divine twin flame marriage, the awakening to New Earth, the restructuring of financial abundance, the truth of the royal lineages, and the false kings and queens, and the downfall of the service to self structure. So these informations can be downloaded from these sacred sites, Sherwood Forest being one of them. Even though it's smaller than the original forest, it contains the codes as a node point. It is fractalized. So you can get just as much codes from one tiny tree and one small stone that you would from an entire sacred circle, if you understand how to work with the fractal. Those memories are kept within that place and within the nature within that place. Okay, another question. Magenta, I have wondered about the Freemasonry at Rosalin Chapel. This is a sacred site, I believe, but I find the Freemasonry there confusing. So I just replied with this. Freemasonry and genuine aligned universal symbols and signs are often one and the same, or very similar. The service to self groups hijack and invert the genuine, positive, and light. Also, important to know, not all Freemasonry is negative, and not all individuals within that structure are negative. So that's something to point out, as many people, especially in the truth communities, believe that Freemasonry is fully negative, and the system is, if you will, controlled by a higher up system, and it's only really at those higher levels, beyond, I believe, the 33rd degree, only beyond those levels do we move more into this service to self structure. So there are many individuals within Freemasonry who are fully positive and have service to others, polarization. So it's not always negative, and we can access from it what we wish to. So if we want to go into Rosalin Chapel and receive positively polarized codes and catalyzed triggers through the architecture there, we absolutely can do this. Okay, so the next post is a comment from me. So this is a comment from me based on information from the Nine, and this triggered more questions. And my comment was, Tuatha De Danann. And to be honest, that's probably not the correct pronunciation. It's more like Tuath De Dan or something. But I can't really pronounce the correct pronunciation. But so I'm saying Tuatha De Danann, but that isn't the accurate pronunciation for this group. Tuatha De Danann seeded the Celtic Bloodlines. They were warrior tribes with full memory of their incarnations within Atlantis and Lemuria, and their connections to the Pleiades and Lyra. They held bilocational consciousness and lived elemental lives alongside physical incarnations, and they kept that portal between the harmonic dimensions open until they were infiltrated and sealed off by the Dark Masters. Now, since the Easter Portal 2022, they are open once more. So along with this Avebury Stargate activation, you have these portals that sealed the entrance between harmonic dimensions around Earth's reality. These are open once more. It's important to know about this because as we spiritually awaken together, we create this web of light, this vibration. We become this group soul consciousness, this memory complex. We aren't just preserving our own memories as we move through ascension and giving our memories to that morphogenetic field. We are becoming a group soul, and together those group soul memories are becoming cohesive and contained within that morphogenetic field. When we're in alignment and in harmony with one another, this is what we are doing, which is why I have this group on social media, and that's just one of many. Any collective coming together with the predominant vibration of that group being cohesive, unconditional love and unification creates these matching portals and dragonlines within the Earth and within the solar system, the cosmos, the galaxy. This is the return of the dragons, which occurred at this Easter Portal 2022. So this is the activation of these Leylines. Does that mean everyone can receive energy from them? Well, yes, potentially, but that energy may not be felt or recognized or understood or even harmonized within the body if somebody is closed to this, especially if they have unfortunately consumed the juice from the juice hijack. And that's what that is about. That's about closing down that light and that plasma. Isn't going to work for every single person. As I've said before many times, according to my information from the Nine, there are the rare few who are still able to flow this light and activate, but they are rare. But those who are receptive to this, those who understand this, or those who just feel this without even understanding, who are picking up these codes when I speak about this, when I communicate either from me as Magenta Pixie or as a oneness with the Nine, those who can feel those codes are receptive to this. So they're going to be walking into this, dragon's cave, if you will, of light, this energetic frequency that is the activation of these ley lines on Earth throughout the planet, and everything that brings with it, which is exposure of everything that's been hidden, because true history must come. If you are preserving your memories together as a group, as a collective, becoming that group soul, that logos, if you will, together, and that's the journey that you're on if you're going through collective ascension with the like-minded others on the same planet as you in the same time as you, then this is what occurs. You create this as you cohesively arrange your memories into that morphogenetic plasma storage. You access the memories that have been cut off from us. They all come flooding back, and that occurs across the whole planet, which is why we're moving into a disclosure period right now, because our true history is becoming known, and that's what the return of the dragons means. The energy brings with it the knowledge of our true history, and it doesn't have to be accessed via mainstream media. One can access it from nature, from these portals, from the rocks and the stones and the ancient architecture and buildings. This is what's happening right now, this year, in 2022, and beyond that. Okay, so I then posted that there were lots of questions. After I posted this about the Tuatha De Danann group seeding the Celtic Bloodlines, I had lots of questions coming in on several social media sites and via email regarding the sacred sites in the UK. And I'd spoken about the Blue Flame, or rather the Nine did, in one of the transmissions, and the Halls of Amenti. So people wanted to know more about this. So many people were personally, deeply connected to this energy. And so when you mention to these people the Blue Flame, the Halls of Amenti, the ancient Stargates, the dragons, the return of the dragons, Camelot, Avalon, there are, I would personally say we have around just above 90% of activated individuals will be personally connected. You may get a few who have a different connection and aren't so anchored with this, but the majority of starseeds have personal connection to these energies because of their previous incarnations and the codes that have been held within their memory fields. Avalon, moving back to Atlantis and the energy that was used there and the time period that we were in, and so much has occurred in our history. So these codes are really personal to individuals, and the minute they're mentioned, people want to know about them and people want to share with others who also have these memories. So I'd just like to mention that I do have a couple of videos up on my YouTube channel where we are actually talking about all of this. So these were round tables, the UK Goddess Roundtable. So I gathered together other ladies from the UK, all clairvoyant, psychic, activated. They all had their memories and their codes and channeling, and all the women came together to create this sacred circle ritual work, or portal, if you will. And we had two of these round tables specific to this topic. So the first one went ahead in June of 2020, and that was myself, Jen McCarty, Becky Parks, Tara Love Perry, Amenti the Awakener, and Dee Taylor Mason, all ladies from the United Kingdom. And we were talking here about the reconstruction of patriarchal predominance, anchoring in the New Earth sacred masculine frequencies. We also discussed the role of the ancient codes in the land, the consciousness of the British Isles and the United Kingdom, and how they connect with Earth's transition into the fifth dimensional ascended Gaia. Codes and triggers for your own memory awakenings and activations are provided in abundance throughout this roundtable connection, including nature codes from the elemental and animal kingdoms, as they hold the energy for the UK and radiate the crystalline energetics to support the new Atlantis. And that energy moves in as we go to the new Atlantis into the US, and filters out into the rest of the planet. So if you go to my YouTube channel and just type in Goddess Roundtable on the search, you'll find these videos, or you can go to my website, www.magentapixie.com, and type the search Goddess Roundtable there, and you'll find the video archive, which will link you to these videos. So that was the first one. It's entitled The Magdalene Flame, and it was uploaded in June of 2020. And then the second one was a month later, in July of 2020, discussing the same topic, but not so much the masculine frequencies. We were talking about the sacred breath, and we do deliver through our conversation and our magical connection here these codes for the blue flame, Avalon and Camelot Codex. And this was myself, Tara Love Perry, Becky Parks, Amenti the Awakener, and Jen McCarthy. So again, if you just type in UK Goddess Roundtable, you will find these videos. If you feel drawn to this information and want more information, it was all delivered by us back in the summer of 2020. Okay, so on St. George's Day, I posted this on all of my social media. So this is a code, if you will, from the 9 through me. And it's short and sweet, but holds these codes that I'm talking about. And what I posted was, Day of the Dragon Slayer. Let those that falsely take the name of the beast be exposed, and their inverted dragon's breath be cleansed from the earth. So I will say that again. Day of the Dragon Slayer. Let those that falsely take the name of the beast be exposed, and their inverted dragon's breath be cleansed from the earth. So I won't do any analysis here. I'm just giving you that energetic directly from the 9. And then one more question here, which is in the same topic. Hi Magenta, I'm just wondering if there are any sacred geometry configurations we should avoid for having around the house, or for charging water, or for visualizations. If they've been hijacked in some way, then should we only perhaps rely on the Merkaba configuration? So this individual is obviously wanting to know which configurations to avoid, as there have been so many hijacks. And, I replied very simply, and it is really simple. And the response is, embrace symmetry and reject the non-symmetrical. So I'm talking here specifically about geometry, because there were a few comments about fashion and how non-symmetrical fashion, especially for women, sleeveless tops where one arm is exposed and the other isn't, that sort of thing, or asymmetrical skirts for women where there's a long piece one side and that draws up to a shorter piece on the other side. I'm not talking about fashion or anything like that, or even abstract art. That's fine to have around. I'm talking about when you want to use geometry for charging water or your food or any of the objects around your home, or crystals or orgonite. When you're working magically with geometry, then embrace symmetry. Symmetrical geometry is a representation of the organic structure, and asymmetrical geometry outside of art and fashion, when it's used magically, that's the inversion. I know that sounds really simple, but that is how it is. There can be exceptions to the rule when there are very advanced individuals who are able to work with certain asymmetrical geometries that are incredibly meaningful to them, and they are creating them to be used magically. For example, let's say jewelry. So that there are exceptions to the rule, but if you're using this to charge your crystals, your water, your food, your home, symmetrical geometry configurations is what you are looking for, because that is the representation of the fractality within creation itself. So that's the topic of this video, and they're all the questions that I was given and comments that I made on this topic so far. So thank you for listening.